Hi guys, and welcome back to Thrifty Mama Scraps. Sorry I've been MIA lately, but I have been trying to get ready for school. I am a homeschool mom. If you had noticed on my other channel, Happily a Homeschool Mom. So there's a lot of planning that needs to get done before the school year starts. And so I've been busy doing that. So I haven't had time to do a lot of scrapbooking, but I have been making embellishment clusters just because they're fun and relaxing. And I love having clusters already made for me so I can put my page kits together as quickly as I can. So here's an example of a lot of different things that I've made with items from my stash. Most of these items are over 10 years old. Some you will see some Tim Holtz, some My Mind's Eye, some Jolie's stickers, some Creative Memory stickers, and some printouts from the computer. Different things. I have been trying to use up a lot of these little tiny word stickers that were left over from my stash. A lot of different die cuts that I had left over from my stash and stickers left over from my stash. So you will see quite a bit of that. I've been trying to use up my washi tape as well, just because I have a lot of washi tape, and I think that we forget to use our washi tape a lot of times. And so I've been trying to go through. Danny over at where is she from? I just got a mind blank, and I love her. Pop Fizz Paper, that's it. She makes some really fun embellishment clusters, and she's been making these page kits from her stash, like really cool. You know, she'll set a goal to use up certain items from her stash every month, and I've really enjoyed watching her videos on how she puts them together. And then at the end, she will show all the things that she used up, and it's really kind of fun to watch her put these together and then see how much stuff that she's gone through. And it's surprising when you make these embellishment clusters how much of your stash you actually do go through, and how much trash is left over from little bits and scraps of things that have just been sitting there that you just don't know what to do with. So I've been trying to combine old and new things, cutting things out, using doilies, using little bits and pieces of words. Sometimes what I'll do, if I cannot use a phrase, I will cut the words apart and in the phrase, and then I will use that in a way like on an embellishment, and that works pretty well. Especially if you mix and match with like Tim Holtz little tiny word stickers, that works really well to make your own phrases if you cut apart words and things. I love using embellishments in ways that are relevant to my family, and maybe taking them out of the context of what they were intended for. I know that my kids are older, and so like a lot of the baby stickers that I have already scrapbooked all their baby pages, so I will either use them for a baby shower, or like if it's something that is obviously a baby, like a bottle or a diaper or a like onesie or something. But like some things that are kind of random, you can use in other ways. And later on in this video, you'll see an embellishment that I made with a moon that was part of a baby collection, and it was just a big moon sticker, and I put it on a cut apart card that says reach for the stars, and it has like the constellations on it, and I just thought it went really well with that. The colors matched and it worked really well. So that's one way that you can take things a little bit different. I love adding embellishments to envelopes and stuff like that, just to stick on a page, and then you can kind of hide your journaling inside. This is kind of the same type of a setup. Here's another one where I cut the words apart, and then I kind of added some washi tape at the bottom with some houses. So this particular sticker had something odd in the corner, and I just covered it up with a sticker that I had. So sometimes you can just, like, if in like a journaling card has something odd in the corner that is not relevant to something you would scrapbook, just cover it up with another sticker or some washi tape or something like that. Here I used my punch. This is a tag punch, and I made some hearts, which I love doing. I love making hearts and stuff. And then I had a whole bunch of circles that I had punched out a long time ago, and I just found as many circle stickers as I could and just made, little circles. So here's a little sticker that I had left over, of olive on a fork. Now, when am I going to use that? Well, I found another sticker that kind of went with it, and it just says live life on it, and it worked really well. Here, we don't gamble, but I mean, if you just put luck on top of it, it's kind of relevant for anything. That was a old Creative Memories butterfly die cut that I used for that. Some of these items I used to swap years ago. I think the group was called Scrap Jazz, and I hosted some swaps, and I belonged to some swaps, and so there's some items that I made and other people made, and they had just been sitting in my stash, so I just kind of added some things to make clusters with them, and it worked out really well. So I tried to think while I was making my clusters about pictures that I have currently in that I know that I will scrapbook. So each time I made a cluster, I was like, my mind was thinking, okay, I know I have pictures of this, so that will work, or something like that. I just added wild to crazy. That was a piece of Tim Holtz paper, and it worked out really well. So I know I have a Christmas trip to Chicago, so seize the day. It was just a really short trip, and it was fun. So there's a lot of different ways. Those little metal tags, I had a whole package of those. I did not know what I was going to do with them, and they were words, and I was like, just some were sports themed, some were just random themed things, and they had been in my stash probably for over 10 years. And I decided, okay, I'm going to use them, and I'm just going to use my Tiny Attacher by Tim Holtz and staple them on, and I really like how it looks. When you add old items to new items, it kind of makes the clusters are more relevant anyways, and they're more current, so adding old stuff to new stuff just really helps. And some of these items, like that worm and the apple on that school bus, it was ripped. I mean, there was a piece of it that was ripped, so I just put a word sticker over top of the rip, and you can't even tell. So it's just kind of fun. And some things like printables that I have printed off of my computer, that were on thinner paper, I just added them to cardstock to make it hardier and more stable. So I really enjoy making clusters, especially like we've been watching The Walking Dead lately. We are late in the game in getting interested in this series. It's so funny because it's so totally not something that I would watch. But my youngest son started watching it, and he was telling us how good it was, and I was like, oh, I am not into zombies at all. Not into zombies. And he's like, will you watch one episode with me? and he's 14, so my husband and I were like sitting in the living room. We're like, okay, well, we'll watch one episode. We were immediately hooked. It's actually a very good storyline if you can get past all the gross killing of zombies, and it's pretty disgusting, but the storyline is really good, and you actually start feeling for these people. I mean, really, like when Herschel died, I almost just, oh my gosh, I was so devastated. And then when Beth died, oh my goodness, I was just like, so you get really involved. We're in season 5 right now, and the new season, I think, is season 8. But while we watch them, I mean, we're really binge watching these, like, seriously. So I like to do something, because I am the type of person that has to be doing something with my hands while I'm watching a show. And so this helps me if I'm making embellishment clusters. And so I will make a lot of embellishment clusters while I'm either watching Netflix, or I will watch YouTube channels. And I love watching other people scrapbook while I am making embellishment clusters. I do not know why. So some of my favorites are Jen Scow. Of course, I brought up Danny from Pop Fizz Paper. I like to watch Mercy Tierra, Noelle 911, or Nicole Jones 911. Who else do I watch? Oh, of course, Inky Quill, Adele. I watch her too. I watch Serena B. I watch her channels too. I think that's it. I used to watch a whole lot more of them, but I love creating while I'm watching other YouTubers. I work out 3 times a week, and I love watching YouTube videos while I'm on the treadmill, or if I'm on the X ride. I like to watch those because makes the time pass quicker, and I try to find a video that's about the same amount of time as I'm going to be using that equipment, and so I can kind of I don't know. It just helps me to watch something. So I'm not thinking, because I have to exercise for my health, and it's like, if I don't have something to watch, I'm thinking about how hard it is, and it plays mind games with you, if you work out and stuff. So anyway, back to these embellishment clusters. This particular tag, I had a whole package of these with the chairs and the fruit on them, and I was actually very surprised at how many different themes that I could come up with just by adding different word stickers to the bottom and some other little stickers to make them different, and so I can use them all on my pages. But here is a larger sticker that's a more relevant, more current sticker. I don't want to say, I keep using relevant, but current, a more current themed sticker that the larger ones are kind of hard to use up sometimes, and they sit in your stash for a while. A lot of these cut aparts, I like to add some washi tape or a sticker at the bottom to kind of make it a little bit more themey. I'm kind of a theme scrapbooker. This is actually a serendipity square, and I've recently gotten back into making those because when you have little tiny stickers, someone on the on Jen Scow's Use It or Lose It group on Facebook asked a question. She posted a question on how to use up like little stickers, like the My Mind's Eye stickers, the little My Mind's Eye faces, of the stick boys and girls how to use those up. And what I do is I will make a serendipity square. I don't know if you remember them, but they came out like sometime in the 2000s, and they were really big for a while, and then people weren't making them anymore. So I had a lot of them actually in my stash that were already made, and I just started adding like 1 or 2 stickers to it, and it made it a little bit more themey and more relevant, and so I could use it. So sometimes just adding a little like that just says drive, that could be used for, you know, when my kids are practicing driving or when they got their driver's license, things like that. As you can see, I use a lot of different themey things. And that just helps me. One way that I put together my pages is I kind of scrapbook similar to many different people that I have seen on YouTube. And I've been scrapbooking for a very long time. And then I took a huge hiatus from it because I had a lot of stash and I was overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed with how to get started on anything, you know, like how to I don't know, I was kind of like paralyzed when you have so much stuff and you don't know where to start, and you're just kind of like, you know, and I was bored. I mean, I hate to say that, but I was bored with my hobby. And then I discovered YouTube, and I started watching other people and some of the things that they were doing, and I was like, you know, this is fun. I can make this fun again. And one way that I made it fun again was by combining older photos and newer photos in my scrapbooking. So more recent photos and then older photos of me, and combining them and telling a different story. So I am a firm believer of storytelling. Like Allie Edwards, I've taken a few, I would say Allie Edwards classes over the years, and I've learned a lot about journaling, and I love telling a story in my scrapbooks. I've even gone back to some of my old scrapbooks that in the beginning where when you used to say, this is when we this is, or look at my son, he is so cute, or whatever, and there were stories behind those photos, and I never told them on the scrapbook page because in the late 90s no one was doing that. And so I went back and I added journaling, to those pages too, because there's a story behind those, and no one's going to know that story unless you tell it. So that helped by taking some classes, by watching YouTube videos. I make page kits like Nicole Jones 911 with my stash. I do subscribe to one kit club, Felicity Jane, and I just love Felicity Jane. I have subscribed to Hip Kit Club. I still really like Hip Kit Club, but I have a lot of their stuff right now because I subscribed for almost a year, I think, and I really like the soft colors in the Felicity Jane, and so I will probably continue subscribing to Felicity Jane, and then maybe later on, after I use a lot of this old stash, subscribe to Hip Kit Club again, because I really like them. You get a lot of bang for your buck with both of those two subscription services. You get a lot of stuff. I've been trying to use up my stamps. You get stamps with Felicity Jane, and so I've been trying to use those up also over the summer. As you can see, paint strips. from the paint store. I love picking up different colors of those and using them as embellishments, especially the Mickey Mouse shaped ones. Those are really cool. I have a lot of those in my stash that I've used for Disney layouts. And they also had crayon ones for a while too. Sometimes you'll find some really cute paint things. So check your Home Depot, Lowe's, different places like that, Walmart. So here I've been using washi tape on my serendipity squares as well, and just kind of making a little theme thing that was like a little camping guide thing. Here's a larger serendipity square that I used these old Creative Memories tea with sugar, and then I put a little bunny on it and made it kind of Easter themed. So I try, when I make my clusters, I try to think about, like, this was actually great play that was like I cut it in half. It was sports themed, and then I just wanted it for a different theme. This is, of course, volleyball. So I kind of think about my my kids. All of them have played sports in different areas over the years. My oldest son probably played the most sports. He was in Little League, and then he played Railer football, which was like our town football league. And then he wrestled in high school, and so he also played basketball when he was in 7th and 8th grade at Westlake Broadwell. So he we have a lot of photographs from different sporting events there. And then our middle son, he is homeschooled, but we had a homeschool basketball team with our church, and he was a member of that. Our youngest has played baseball in different areas. He loves baseball. And so you have Little League photos, and then those stickers can also be relevant. Like we are huge St. Louis Cardinals fans, so we have gone to some games. So we have photos from those, or photos from like football. Like every Thanksgiving, we're always watching a football game. That's just how our family does it. And so we have photos of that, the family together watching football and stuff. This is actually a football sticker that says tackle, and then a kindergarten sticker, and I was like, I'm going to mix those together, tackle kindergarten, and that worked really well. Here, Home Away from Home with a box of crayons. I worked at a grade school as a para, and so I have pictures of me with the kids, because I worked at that school for 7 years. So, and it was kind of my home away from home, because that's where I worked. Here's another serendipity square that I just added a few stickers to, and I made it Christmas themed. Here's an old die cut from Creative Memories, and then just added a sticker. I think that sticker's a little bit crooked. Sometimes I have them in a box, and like they stick together, like when I was getting them out. So you'll see me adjusting in this video sometimes, or like one thing will stick on top of another. So, but this is the end of this video, and I'll have more soon. I still have a lot of clusters that I've made that I haven't shown you guys, but I just wanted to give you guys some ideas of different ways that you can use your punches and stickers and stuff from your stash. So I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you here next time. Keep on scrapbooking.